Hi there, this is Talia the dietitian, and today I'm actually going to give you 3 tips to help you with your picky eater. What I want to address here is, what does success look like with a picky eater? And the reason I wanted to do this is because a lot of parents really struggle with what success looks like, what they perceive success should look like, and what their child is doing. And a lot of what their child is doing is perfectly normal and age appropriate, but it can be very frustrating and cause a lot of angst for us as the parent when we are continuing to expose them and continuing to give them their food, and they're continuing to not eat their broccoli or other food that we want them to try and we want them to eat. And we can be very tempted to bribe them or tell them that they need to eat it or that they're not going to get something else if they don't finish eating it. And that can just cause more problems for us, which is not what we want. And it's not what we want for our child because it adds pressure to them, which is actually going to increase their likelihood of not trying the food. So we want to avoid that. Here are 3 tips. The first one is actually for you, mum or dad, and that is to reframe your mindset. Adjust your expectations or drop them altogether. The expectation that you have that your child is going to eat something this time is going to make it more difficult if they don't eat it. It's going to make you more stressful. It's going to make you more likely to draw attention to it and tell your child that they need to try it or that they haven't tried it and will they take some and will they try a bite or lick it. That's going to make it more stressful for you, which in turn makes it more stressful for them, which continues this cycle of selectiveness and resistance to trying new things, which isn't what we want. So tip number 1, reframe your mindset and drop your expectations. Second is providing positive exposures. What the heck does that mean, Talia? What that means is allowing times for your child to have positive exposures with food. And it doesn't even have to be with food specifically as food. An exposure counts if it's reading it in a book or seeing it in a book or touching a toy vegetable, which there are lots of different kinds. We have like a lot of broccolis floating around our house and different vegetables that my kids make random things with. They make granola with them and put them in their toy kitchen. These are all positive exposures and also ways that you can get involved with them and make it fun. And there is no pressure there because there's no expectation that your child eats a toy broccoli. So there's no expectation there or pressure. No expectation from you and no pressure on them that they have to eat it. Some other positive exposures are getting them involved in the kitchen, getting them involved in selecting the food, preparing the food, washing the food, cutting the food. If you have a child that's able to cut, you can get child knives where they can cut. Those are all positive exposures. And again, there's no pressure to eat them. You may find that your child licks the food. This could be at the table, that they lick it or they put it in their mouth and then they spit it out. That can seem like, oh my God, or why didn't they eat it? But the fact that they touched it is a win. And when you reframe your mindset to knowing that, that really helps you and it really helps them. So things like licking, touching, and even spitting out are wins, and that is success. That is starting. Even if it's a child who would normally throw something on the floor, the fact if they leave it on their plate and tolerate it being on their plate, or they pick it up and put it in their scraps bowl that they don't want to eat it, that's still a win. So congratulate yourself on that, all right? And then the last tip is actually going back to tip number 1, and that is again to reframe your mindset. And I'm reiterating this because it is so, so important. Because if your mindset is that you expect your child to eat things and they don't, that's going to make you stressed out, anxious, and frustrated, which in turn is going to make things worse for your child because they pick up on all those things. So I actually have a new course called Mealtimes Without Meltdowns that goes through all these tips and strategies in a course that you can take. I made it relatively short. It's fluff free, so that you can complete the course in less than a day. I know we're all busy, so I've made them as short as possible to give you all the information and strategies you need with whether your child's a picky eater or not. But if there's angst and stress around mealtimes, this course will really help you reframe your mindset and get into a positive way to build trusting relationships between you and your child without pressuring them and causing more anxiety for both of you. The course also comes with fridge-friendly handouts of phrases to say to help build a positive relationship with food, the ultimate mini meal mindset snack guide so you never run out of snacks, and a lot more. And I'll include the link for that in the description if you'd like to take a look. Well, I really hope you have found those 3 tips helpful and they can make a difference to your meal times moving forward. And if they have and you like this video, I'd love if you would subscribe and click like, and also share it with a friend who may be struggling with this as well. So thank you so much for watching, and this is Talia, the dietitian. See you next time. This parenting thing is hard. I'm here to help you make this feeding journey a little bit easier.